Have you ever wondered what is the best pond filter to keep a pond clean, clear and healthy? In my opinion, a good pond filter needs to keep the water clean and clear, it needs to keep the water healthy for the fish or any other aquatic life, it needs to be easy to maintain, it needs to be efficient, and it needs to look good. The good news is that such a pond filter does exist, and it's not even expensive. G'day, my name is Kev. The aim of my channel is to help people build and maintain ponds without spending a fortune. If that sounds like something that interests you, you might like to subscribe and check out my website, Ozponds.com. Anyone that regularly watches my videos already knows what I'm about to say. The best pond filter you can get is a bog filter. Of course, that's my very biased opinion. But if you don't know what a bog filter is or how to build one, stick around because creating a bog filter is easy and it will make pond ownership a breeze. No more UV lights, regular water changes, weekly filter cleanings, changing sponges, back flushing, exposed plumbing, it's all unnecessary. So what is a bog filter? Well, you're looking at one. A bog filter essentially moves water through rock, pebble and plant roots to purify it. It's exactly how water is purified in nature. The first thing you need to know is the role bacteria plays in keeping water clean and clear. Here we are inside the bog filter, and you can see plenty of little fish swimming around, but there's so much life that you cannot see. All the rocks, pebbles and plant roots are covered in tiny bacteria, algae and microscopic organisms. When fish breathe and poo, they produce ammonia. Ammonia is a type of nitrogen and it's a very common ingredient in plant fertilizer. The problem is that ammonia is toxic to fish and lots of other organisms that live in aquatic environments. The good news is that there are types of bacteria that feed on ammonia and convert it to other types of nitrogen or nutrients. These bacteria are naturally occurring, and all they need is a wet surface to grow on and some oxygen. In any pond filter, you're going to find sponges and assorted filter media. One of the main aims of the filter is to provide wet surface area for bacteria to grow on, and then water is forced through. Inside the bog filter, the rock, pebble and plant roots are providing wet surface area for the bacteria. The more surface area that you have, the more good bacteria you can potentially grow. And this is the first area where a bog filter beats a traditional pond filter. It can simply house more good bacteria. Now before you go throw some rocks in a bucket and call it a bog filter, it's important to size the filter appropriate to the pond's size. All ponds are different, as are the amounts of fish or other critters living inside them. If you're planning on keeping lots of fish or big fish or ducks or turtles, you need a bigger bog filter than someone who just wants a couple of fish and tadpoles. Remember, the pond's inhabitants are producing ammonia. More inhabitants means more ammonia, which means you need more bacteria to process that ammonia. I have certain guidelines I use when I'm building my ponds. A pond like this with small fish or not many fish, I'm happy with a bog filter that is 10% the volume of the pond. A pond that I want to take a dip in, I will oversize the bog filter at 20% or more of the pond's volume. Same if you plan on having messy animals like ducks or turtles. More filtration is always better. If you are interested, I have a little PDF file available on my website which has all the formulas I use when building these types of ponds with a bog filter. I'll put a link to that in the description. If your filter provides enough bacteria, the water should be clean and clear. If there isn't enough bacteria, the water will go green. Often a new pond will go green or grow a lot of algae, even with good filtration. This is just because it takes time for the bacteria colonies to establish. So if that's the case in your new pond, just be patient. Allow at least 6 months to a year for the pond to mature. And always remember that some algae is good and very important to a healthy ecosystem. Trying to eliminate it completely is a bad idea. So if we move the pond water through enough surface area that is colonized by bacteria, the water stays clear. A properly sized bog filter should achieve this every time. The next advantage of a bog filter is that it's easy to maintain. Because bog filters are so much bigger than traditional filters, they need less regular servicing. You'll notice on this design there's a clean out barrel. That barrel allows a clean out pump to be placed in there. That will allow all the water inside the bog to be completely drained. Here's another design. This one, the barrel is the bog filter. It has a clean out valve that allows the bog to be completely drained. Here's another one that I use on my small ponds. It has a standpipe that can be removed, and again, that will completely drain the filter. I'll put a link to a playlist that includes all these different bog filters I've built for my ponds. There's lots of ways that the designs can be modified to suit your needs. What's important is that you move the water through the rock and pebble or other media that provides surface area for the bacteria, and you have a method to completely drain the bog and remove any accumulated gunk that has settled inside the filter. Another important aspect of bog filter design is flow rate. A bog filter works best with a slow and steady flow. For most average sized backyard ponds, I recommend people buy a pump that is 6 times the volume of the bog. I also recommend using variable speed pumps so that you can adjust the flow rate if needed. Remember, a bog filter replicates nature, and the flow rate from one bog to the next can vary and still be effective. Having the ability to adjust the pumping volume can save you a lot of money in running costs. I'll link some of my favourite variable speed pumps in the description. So because a bog filter has a slower flow than a traditional filter, it's more efficient to run, which really adds up because a pond filter should be running 24 hours a day. At least on most ponds, with fish or where water quality and clarity is important. My final advantage of a bog filter over traditional filters is that it looks good. This is the filter, and it just looks like a natural part of the pond. Even on my mini ponds, the impatiens growing up in the filter just look fantastic. And this pond is running a bog in a barrel design, buried up in the berm. You wouldn't even know it's there. In all the bogs, the plumbing is easily concealed. Here you can barely even notice the clean-out barrel. These filters are also great in koi ponds, where the fish would otherwise eat your plants. Up in the bog filter, you can have all the benefits of the plants without the fish decimating them. Anyway, that's my rant about bog filters and the benefits of them. So far I haven't come across a better filtering system, and I've tried quite a few. That's not to say they don't exist. So if you want to try a bog filter on your pond, check out the other videos and links I've put in the description. I also think in most decent sized ponds, you should pair a bog filter with an intake bay or other skimming system to help reduce maintenance. I'll link another couple of videos on designing and building a complete pond ecosystem with bog filter and intake bay, so you can see how it all fits together. I do hope this video was helpful. If you thought so, feel free to tickle the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching. See ya.